About 2 years ago, I said that one of the reasons why this government removed history, from curriculum of waiting with a study now, is so that you and I will not know what happened before we were born. Because if you know what happened before you were born, before I was born, it will enable you to gain knowledge. Now, knowledge is risky to dictators. Your knowledge is risky to bad government. Some days ago, the former military head of state, General Babangida IBB, wrote a book and he launched the book. People came to donate. But two angles of that event caught my attention. One, when Babangida IBB took responsibility that he annulled the June 12th, 1993 election, where Abiola of SDP actually won. The people voted Abiola over 8 million votes. Opposition about 5 million votes. So Abiola was leading with more than 3 million votes. And why they try using the NEC chairman then to close the game, the NEC chairman refused. And while they were still counting, IBB came and annulled that there were discrepancies, there were violations, there were malpractice. And at the end of the whole story, the two major requirements that was needed to win an election, Abiola got it. 1, highest number of votes. 2, geographical distribution. Abiola got it. Then IBB cancelled that election. I was very little then, less than 10 years old. Then at the end, riot. Abiola called himself the elected president. 1994, he was arrested. 1998, he died in detention. And 32 years after committing a national abomination, IBB is now coming to confess. And people were clapping for him. Coming to accept what you did 32 years ago. Destroying the democracy of then, because there was military, but they wanted to move into democracy. Destroying it, taking Nigeria 6-7 years backwards, putting family in pains, breaking the heart of electorate, people that voted, and now you are coming to accept it. All right, sir, you have accepted it. No wahala. How can you solve it? As one of the chieftains, as one of the former military leaders then, now what are you doing now to make sure that Nigeria's election is free and fair? Dear former military president IBB, what are you doing? Back then, frustrated Abiola, they handed over to Shonikon. Abacha took over, overthrew Shonikon. Tinubu now, because then Tinubu was a senator. Tinubu now. That's why one of the reasons why I respect Showore. Showore knew all these things that was happening, and Omoyele Showore has always stood in the angle of truth. In that he might have his own rough angle, maybe that's because of what he didn't say in the past. But back to the topic, what is IBB going to do right now about the annulled? Okay, so don't talk. Case closed. Was 2015 election free and fair? Was 2023 election free and fair? Some of the people that are elected and INEC selected right now, up to now we don't know their age. Up to now we don't know the school they attended, whether in Nigeria or in abroad. A lot of sketchy things, and INEC still played their card. That is one angle. Second angle, sure, it was said that it was an Igbo coup. Then it was an Igbo coup. Then it's not Igbo people, not Igbo, not this. Finally, it has been discovered that most of the people who led that coup was even what? Yoruba. So it's a Yoruba coup. So the Igbos in Nigeria have been suffering from 1967 till date over wrong information, wrong narrative that was spread by those that should be leading Nigeria. So this Igbo coup now, assumption that is now confirmed Yoruba. We go and check that. I saw the list of people that planted it. The only person from eastern Nigeria, Delta, Igbo, Major Kaduna and Zongo, Okpanam in Delta states, but he grew up in Kaduna. Go and check the list of people that planned that coup. They were mostly Yoruba. So what are we going to do now to repair the stigma, the marginalization, the assumption, the wrong information, the pain and unnecessary hardship that has been given to the Igbos? Because since they've started 1967 days. If you know the number of people in Southeast Nigeria that were unnecessarily buried, it runs into millions. What are you people going to do now to appease the Igbos? What are we now going to do to correct that election that was annulled in 1993? Abi, as we talk, as we discover the election, say it was annulled. So, case don't end. As we discovered, say this was not really an Igbo coup. It was a Yoruba in quote and unquote coup. Because most of the military people were they involved. How many Igbo people there? How many Yoruba there inside? What are we now going to do? This is why they remove history. No, people know the story. And the youths are not observant. The future of the world, which is artificial intelligence, robotics, future of the world, Nigeria University never think of to include them. What we are still studying is 1997. Now, the past, the history that can help us plan the future. So, Nigerian youth are removed from knowing their past so that they will not be able to think and plan. And Nigerian youth are removed from the future. So, Nigerian youth just did the present. We know no past, we know no future. I've asked my 2 questions. So, it's been discovered now that election was annulled. What next? 2018, they can't put and posthumous Gene as one of the president of Nigeria. Is that all? Is that all? He didn't enjoy the seat that people voted him for. That's why people are losing faith in electoral processes. It started from 1993. Clear win. It was annulled. And from then, most of the people that have been announced by NEC and by INEC as people that won election, they didn't really win. These are the cases, things that played out. So, sir, dear IBB, what are you going to do to prevent further errors from happening? And what are you people going to do to appease the Igbos that have been suffering from what they didn't do? These are my 2 questions.